To our guests from Egypt, I am here at the Sorensen Institute at the University of Virginia, at the Weldon Cooper Center at the University of Virginia, talking with April Auger and Lauren Gilbert, who work in programs at the Sorensen Institute. And why I've chosen to bring them to you today via technology is to let them talk about the Sorensen Institute, its goals, and then how it reaches those goals, because I really feel as though the programs that they offer here at the Sorensen Institute would be something that you might replicate in Egypt. And since everyone isn't able to come with us to DC, this is a great way for them to tell you directly what it is that they do and what makes it such a great example of civic education. So I'm going to let April start with, if you could talk about how the center, how the Institute got started, and then what your mission is, and then how you achieve that mission.
Sure. So the Sorensen Institute was founded 20 years ago by two Charlottesville businessmen who felt that there was a need for more bipartisanship in government, specifically at the state and local level. And so they founded the Sorensen Institute. And the mission was to bring together leaders from throughout Virginia and bring them together in a setting in which they could work together on issues, policy issues, debate issues in the setting that they felt comfortable to, Republicans and Democrats to come together in a bipartisan manner and come together and find solutions that affect policy here in Virginia. To date, we have over 1,500 graduates. We have over 100 working in community service or who are in some sort of local elected office. We have 22 that serve in the Virginia General Assembly, and many others who have been appointed to boards throughout Virginia.
So do you help people find ways to good governance?
We do. So our mission at Sorensen is trust, civility, respect, and politics. And we focus, on state and local politics and good governance and ethics and politics.
I love it. And Lauren, how do you contribute to the Sorensen mission?
Yeah, I kind of have two different tasks throughout the year. My first task is assisting in finding great applicants for our programs. So we do a lot of outreach with recruitment to not only people who might want to run for office one day, but we know that leadership in politics and public service expands so much wider than that. So we look to people who are leaders in their community, who do community outreach, who work in things like the Rotary Club or
so civic organizations.
Exactly, civic organizations that might be maybe thought initially as more community service, but these people are leaders in their own circles as well, and they have great policy ideas. And then the other part of my job is overseeing our youth programs. So we have two summer programs, the high school leaders program and the college leaders program, and they're each 2 weeks long, and they run two separate parts during the summer, and we take about 30 students, either in college or high school, who are interested in politics and public policy in Virginia, and we bring them and they live together and they learn from one another. So they're from all different ranges in the partisan spectrum, they come from all different backgrounds, and it's really a great opportunity because they go to class together, they go on field trips together, they hang out and play board games together and work on projects together. So it gives them a great opportunity to meet people they might not otherwise have met and really have discussions about not only what they believe, but why they believe it.
That's great. Sounds very intensive.
It is, absolutely.
We're going to be talking about discourse, debate, and compromise.
Oh, great.
I would sense that those things are emphasized in everything that you do in those programs.
Yeah, one great thing is that we try to emphasize for our students that you don't always have to agree with one another, but it's important to understand where the other person is coming from. We also don't allow our students in our youth programs to disclose their political affiliation. So they cannot come in and say, hi, I'm Joe and I'm a Democrat, or I'm Susie and I'm a Republican.
Right.
They have to get to know each other on a personal level, and then they might discover, oh, we both love the same TV show, or we both, love going out and playing soccer, and then by the time they realize, it only takes a couple days, but by the time they realize that the other person falls somewhere else on the spectrum than they do, they're already friends.
So it's modeled throughout all that you're doing,
Absolutely.
which is great, and that's something that would need to be, if this is replicated, something that they would need to pay attention to. In also thinking about what are some of the other programs that you offer here at Sorensen, in addition to your youth programs, to help you complete the mission?
So we offer 3 other programs in addition to our 2 youth programs. Our flagship program is the Political Leaders Program, which they meet 1 week in a month for 10 months throughout various locations in Virginia. And that is so that the participants can see the policy issues that affect those specific regions and to see how diverse a state that we live in. And then we have a candidate training program, which is an intensive 4-day program for anyone who is planning to run for office. And that's sort of the nuts and bolts of campaigning and what it takes to run for office in an ethical manner. I mean, again, Sorensen's mission is, ethics in politics. So that is everything we do. I always draw an umbrella, and the umbrella is ethics, and everything we do falls underneath that umbrella of ethics. And then our newest program is the Emerging Leaders Program, and they meet for the month of August, and they are ages 22 to 32, roughly, people who, again, are active in state and local government, are leaders and up-and-coming leaders here in Virginia, and they meet for 8 days throughout the month of August, and again, combining all the themes of Sorensen, bipartisanship, working together, crafting legislation, and debates, that sort of thing.
Do they self-identify, or do they nominate themselves to participate, or do you reach out in any ways to them? Do you,
Both.
Yeah.
I would say we have, our alumni are our strongest recruiters, obviously. We do have a lot of people that nominate themselves, and again, we have a referral page on our website where people will come and refer someone or nominate someone to apply for the program. So I would say it's both.
So we're going to wrap up with, what is the best thing about the Sorensen Institute?
I always say, and I'll let Lauren answer too, I've been at Sorensen for 5 years, and even though we offer great programs, and as program director, that's my job, is to ensure that we are running top-notch programs, but I think one of the major takeaways are the relationships that are built while they are in the program, and they are relationships that are built on trust and respect and civility, and they carry on well after the program. We have people who become best friends. It never ceases to amaze me that you will have people who are polar opposites on the political spectrum, and by the time that they leave this program, they have found common ground, and that they continue to be friends for years after they leave.
So we need to replicate it not only in Egypt, but also here in the United States.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd agree with that. I actually did the College Leaders Program when I was in college, and to this day, one of my best friends that I made during the program is one of my best friends now. We text all the time. Like, we're constantly talking back and forth with each other, not only about policy, but just about everything.
Building relationships.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of what democracy and good governance is.
Exactly.
Is having relationships with the people you're working with.
Yeah.
I would love to thank you for your time. And I am going to be giving our guests your information, and can they feel free to contact you with questions when they get back to Egypt and they're trying to replicate this?
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course, thanks.